I'm now speaking out as a bereaved mother who I am sure is not alone in the wake of these highly questionable exterminations being committed with this program. Away from the media spotlight, we witness the veracity by which a Canadian mother condemns the euthanasia policies of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his Liberal government. It's a side of the assisted dying discussion that Canadian media refuse to reveal. Under the financial and ideological control of our Liberal government, stories such as these fly under the Canadian radar. My son was euthanized by the Canadian government's Medical Assistance in Dying or MAID program on December 12, 2021. What proof was demonstrated regarding my son's pain or his mental well-being by MAID? Nobody contacted me, his mother, to check, corroborate, question or confirm my son's reasons. It appears the adjudicators accept what a person says without any thorough investigation. There is also no oversight of the adjudicators. MAID doesn't appear to consider the devastating fallout to family and loved ones. Nor do they offer grief counseling before or after the exterminations. Welcome to Justin Trudeau's Sunny Ways Canada. Of course, it was a farce from day one. The only direction our PM was ever going to lead our country toward was authoritarianism in replication of his favorite form of governance, communism. In contradistinction to the Sunny Ways deception, we have grieving Mother Sharon Danley's take on Trudeau's assisted dying agenda. In my opinion, MAID is actually a Trojan horse and has turned out to be a way to rid society of the less desirable across the board. MAID is reminiscent of 1930s Nazi Germany when the disabled were sterilized, followed by the euthanasia of children and adults with disabilities, and finally genocide. As contrasted with mainstream media's approach to euthanasia. In short, CBC, Globe and Mail, and the rest of no issues with Justin Trudeau's postmodern gift to Canadian society, removal of the elderly. Please contact your members of parliament, on either side of the aisle and ask them to stop where MAID seems to be inevitably headed. This and 2 toonies will get you a cup of coffee at Tim Hortons. Apart from a posse of Conservatives, you will find no pushback from Liberal or New Democratic Party members of Parliament. Compassion for Afghani refugees? Forlorn, we are with you. Victims of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard? Okay, we will go with it. Elderly Canadian-born men and women? Forget about it. By way of Justin Trudeau's Liberal cabinet. You won't hear a peep of protest. As far as media is concerned, they are loath to explain a fundamental of Liberal ideological policy. Ex-Liberal Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau is the founder of Canadian abortion program. In reality, it's more of a non-policy. At any time within a 9-month pregnancy, an abortion can be legally performed in Canada. The result is 40 years of approximately 90,000 abortions on an annual basis. 40 years later, another Trudeau Prime Minister comes along. Rather than focusing on unborn youth, Justin Trudeau passes legislation to deal with our elderly population, comprised mainly of old-stock Canadians. In the meantime, Trudeau Jr. sets the highest immigration quotas in history. Family reunification is one of the Liberals' prime packages of immigration intake. Canada's family reunification program aims to grant permanent residency to over 103,000 individuals in 2021. The program allows for the sponsorship of spouses, common-law partners, conjugal partners, dependent children, adopted children, parents, and grandparents. Family reunification continues to be a priority for the government, as it is key to Canada's future, particularly as we work to recover from COVID-19. Let CAP understand this correctly. While MAID takes care of elderly Canadians, our Liberal government maintain an immigration stream that imports the elderly from China, India, Iran, Syria, and Pakistan. How Justin Trudeau it is. What is this fellow up to, anyway? Is he some kind of demographic madman intent on transitioning Canada to a postmodern state? In fact, That's exactly what he is. For Trudeau, Canada is a culturally empty vessel in which to carve out a demography of his choosing. Like the government of China, each ethnic and religious community has its purpose within the political pantheon. Over the past 2 years, Canada's euthanasia regime has gone from a hidden horror show to an internationally recognized horror show. The global headlines have been both brutal and damning. Not so within Canada. Turns out Justin Trudeau is paying legacy media to concur with his policies on life and death within society. The same structure exists within the communist societies our Prime Minister most admires. It's a hard slog, because the housing is simply not there, he said. Denise is considering another option. 2 out of 3 physicians have approved for her to commit legal-assisted suicide. It's a complete travesty, arguably fascist in nature. And it's 100% good to go by way of Canadian government, media, academia and healthcare industry. This is the real Canada as opposed to Justin Trudeau's woke utopian illusion. As created through synergy between our liberal communist government and paid-off media partners working to deceive 38 million Canadians.